All right, it is time to do some modeling. So I'm going to start with my bulky weight things that are definitely more wintry. So let's get started. I based it basically on how the thickness of yarn, if it was bulky to worsted weight, or something that I know is just really kind of toasty, then I classified it as a winter garment. So the first thing is a cowl, and this is the Basic Stitches cowl. It is one that I made. It's a free pattern if you haven't made it and you want to. It's over on Love Crafts, and there you can see it. So yeah, Basic Stitches cowl. And I love the colors in this. It's nice for fall when it's like cool, not during the regular time. Next, I have a crocheted. This is just an infinity scarf, which basically means, I use the word basically a lot. I did the shell stitch. You can see it here. And this yarn was from Knit Crate, and it's all different shades of green. It was two shades, or two skeins, so I have both skeins are in here. So there's two medium color, there's two of this lighter color, and two of sections of darker color. And it was funny, I was crocheting this during a meeting at work, and the ball of yarn went rolling, and everybody scrambled to get under the table to go get the ball of yarn for me. But what I did, I guess it technically could be classified as a Mobius, because it does have a twist to it. And if I'm wearing something that's light, not a bulky sweater, I can get this. It's a little snug, but I can get it over my shoulders. So there's no real pattern for this. It is, like I said, the shell stitch, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 shell stitches across. So, and it's probably maybe 14 inches wide, something like that. So that's number 2. Number 3, and it's actually not that heavy, but because of the little bubbly things on this, it just makes it a little, it's very warm. It has wool in it. It has like bobbles, as you can see, and the bobbles were in the yarn itself. The yarn is called Blick Fang. I think it's called Blick Fang. It's a German yarn. And this is, again, just an infinity scarf. And you can see it's not real heavy. You can see through it. But by the time you wear it and bulk it up like this, the little puffy things on it really make it tight up around your neck and snug. I love it. It feels really comfortable in the wintertime. I wouldn't want to wear this any other time. So, and this is knitted. And there's no pattern for this either. It is just knit one, yarn over, or yarn over, knit two together all the way across. That's all this is. The third one is I think it's called the Tegna. This is crocheted, and if you've been watching for a while, you realize I ran out of yarn partway through, and when we went on vacation, not this past summer, but the summer before that, I found it at Northampton Wools. So I bought more of it so I could finish this, and it's a very simple repeat. You could continue making this bigger than what they call for. There you can see it. And I changed the ending. It does have tassels on it. It called for a tassel on the end here, but I don't need a tail. I have, yeah, we won't even go there. I don't need a tail. We'll just say it that way. I like this, but it's very densely knit. This is a free pattern, by the way. And it is very dense. I wish that I would have made it a little bit bigger. I did change, like I said, the bottom. The edging along theirs was a little bit more detailed, but I was seriously running out of yarn at that point. So here it is. I actually would love to make this a little bit bigger, because when I put it around me, and I pulled my hair up so I didn't have to get my hair all in the way all the time, you can see when I pull this around me, it doesn't want to stay on a lot of times. It just keeps wanting to fly off. So when I wear it, I have to put like a shawl pin or something to get it to stay in place. So I do wish it was a little wider this way and not so deep this way. But because it's a dense crochet, and it's mostly all double crochet if I remember. No, it's a lot of single crochet. There is some double crochet in it. I forget, it's like a 6 or 7 row repeat, something like that. It's very simple. I do like it, but like I said, because it's denser, it's very warm. This is a knitted pattern. It's called the Hitchhiker. And I have another Hitchhiker that I will show you when we get to the lightweight. This one I did with 2 yarns held together, so it made a worsted weight. So this is very densely knit. It's very warm because it's got hand spun, and then the kind of chartreuse color that's in it here. The chartreuse color that is in it is not hand spun. It's bamboo, I think. And then I put these little, where the teeth come down, I put these little beads. The next shawl I have is called the Shades of Wicklow. And it is you do have to purchase that pattern. And yeah, this is the right side. It's a very simple, fast pattern. Has a little bit of texturing in it, like you can see. And the lights are blowing it out. I've tried rearranging lights, but this is what I got. But it's different shades of purple, and you know I love me some purple. This is done in LRA Cozy Soft Alpaca, and it is a worsted weight. So even though it's not a real big shawl, it is very toasty. I can wear it like this, or I can wear it around my neck. But it's extremely soft. So again, that is Shades of Wicklow. Then we have my woven infinity scarf that I just recently finished. And it is also alpaca. And because it's dense, I classified it as a winter type of item. I do have, oh, I got hair in my mouth. I do have some alpaca that I've put into like my medium weight. But this was more of a worsted weight or a heavy, like a DK weight yarn. And yeah, it's very soft. Also, like I said, because of the alpaca. These are 2 chunky knits. Both yarns came from a knit crate a while back. The pattern is the Katrina Cowl, which was done by Cozy Up with the the Stitchin' Sisters. And the buttons are just for looks. They don't need to be on there. You could leave them off and put like a pretty brooch or something on there. It's an easy knit. It's fast because it's, you know, really chunky. And it has like a cabled pattern through it. So it's really pretty. I have 2 of them. I do wear them a lot because I like the bulkiness without all the stuff hanging down. So I do wear them quite a bit. The other one, the gray yarn, was from Knit Crate, and then the pink yarn I bought at my local yarn store because there just wasn't enough to make this, and I just liked the pink with the gray. So it's the same pattern. And that again is the Katrina Cowl, and I think it's Cozy Up Designs is their pattern page. This is something I made years ago. It's just an infinity scarf that I always double. It's a bulky weight yarn. I think it's acrylic. It's just different shades of denim, and there's a little bit of tan in it. And I got this yarn at a yarn store down in Eldersburg, Maryland. So one of the times when our bookmobile was broke down, we were driving around in a car, and my coworker and I, who you've seen Cindy on the podcast before, she crochets and I knit, so we decided during our lunch break, we were going right past the store, and we'd always seen it, but we always had this big truck, so we couldn't go in and check things out. So because we had the car, we ate lunch real quick and spent the rest of our lunchtime checking out the yarn shop. And we didn't go out of our way to do it. Like I said, it was right on the way to our next stop. So perfect. So we checked it out, and this is what I bought. And I wear this a lot. It goes perfect with like jeans, or like a blue jean skirt, or something navy blue, or even gray, because it's got a little bit of gray in it too. There's no real pattern for it. I mean, there is a pattern. It's got a cable stitch and then some yarn overs, but I don't remember where I got the pattern from. So, but here you can see it. This is a capelet. I have no idea what the yarn is. The yarn was given to me by a co-worker years ago. She was cleaning out her stash. She gave it to me, and I didn't even use a pattern. I just put this together. It's got seed stitch at the bottom, and it's just a little capelet. I have ripped this apart before because the first time I made it, it didn't turn out quite right. I think there's mohair in this there because it's got a lot of fuzz or halo to it, and it's extremely hard to rip apart. So mohair notoriously is hard to rip back mistakes that you make because all these little fuzzies grab to each other when you go to pull them out. But it is like baby soft. It's very snuggly, and I throw it on sometimes just around the house, and it is a worsted weight. Worsted, or a heavy worsted actually. So that is that pattern. And while we're on capelets, I'll show you my other capelets. There's this one, which I have to put it on to show it to you. And this I might actually just get rid of because I made this when I hadn't been knitting all that long. And there's some mistakes in it. And I have reworked it before. You can see right here, there's a mistake. And I mean, it kind of stands out. So this was made, I know it's made with Caron Simply Soft. I do know the yarn that was made. I don't remember the pattern, but it has a pretty pattern at the bottom. And then it goes on like this, and this kind of folds down like a collar. And then I have these toggles, you know, toggle buttons that just fasten into loops. Like I said, the whole thing is just, it's just got some errors in it, and I can see them. So this is more than likely going to go away and get passed to some, you know, somebody else might not notice it, but every time I wear it, I see the mistakes. So, yeah, this might be one that goes away. You know, I could rip it apart and save the yarn, but to be honest, I've got so much yarn, I really don't need more. And because it's an acrylic, Caron Simply Soft, I've made baby blankets and stuff before out of it, and after a while, it literally falls apart. My one grandson's baby blanket literally just started shredding because it was washed so many times and just loved a lot. So I'm not going to, I can always see this is pilled up in some spots, so I will probably just give it away like this. Oh, here's a cowl I forgot to show. Now this one might look familiar to you. If you notice the colors, if you go to my channel page, you'll see this in the background. It says Katrina's Creations in yellow over top of it. This is what I used to take that picture. So it's got these little sparkles in it, which are probably not going to show up on camera real well. But it has copper colored, don't know why they aren't showing up because there's a lot of them, but anyway, it has copper colored speckles throughout the whole thing. I like this, but I'll be honest, the copper little speckly things tend to be a little on the scratchy side. The yarn isn't, but the other is. So I do wear this. Oh, I'm showing it to you inside out. Oh dear. Anyway, let me show it to you right side out. There we go. I don't think I even used a pattern for this either. What it is the Shawl pattern. It's also known as Fans and Feathers. There is a slight difference between old Shawl and Fans and Feathers, but that's what this is. Go to a crocheted one, because the rest of you are probably going, why are there so many knitted? Because I made a lot of these before I learned to crochet, so I don't have as much crocheted things to share. And I've got hair in my face yet again. Little fuzzies are coming off my mouth. little fuzzies from all of this yarn are getting in my mouth. Okay, this is the Virus Meets Granny shawl. I love this thing, and every time I wear it, I get compliments on it, and I think it's because this vibrant, I love this raspberry color. Yeah, this is like one of my favorites. I made this nice and big, so I put this thing on. It is snuggly. It hangs right where I want it to hang. It bundles over and I love this thing. I bring it to church with me and wear it a lot in the wintertime. Sometimes even I wrap it around my legs because we get a breeze coming through on the floor at church and my feet are get cold or my legs get cold. So anyway, yes, this is the Virus Meets Granny shawl. It is one of my favorites. Now another one of my favorites, and I don't remember the name of this pattern. It is a capelet, but it's odd shaped. And what I like about it, okay, I put a button on the front. What I like about it, it does unbutton. It does have an actual buttonhole, but I don't need to use that. I can just loop it over my head. You can wear it like this, and it's just literally a capelet. It just covers your shoulders. It's in an off-white worsted weight. So you can wear it like this, but I actually like turning it slightly and wearing it like this, like right on the edges of my shoulders. Yeah, like that. There we go. I kind of like wearing it like that just for something a little different. And if I made another one, I doubt I would put a button on it. I think I would save that to put like a pretty pin or something like that here. But yeah, I like this and I do wear it fairly often. Then I have this shawl. This is the last of the shawls. And I like this one. It has some pretty detail at the bottom. I think the pattern name is Melanie, something like that. I forget what it is. But anyway, I ran out of yarn partway through, so you can see this is solid, and this is the pattern here. It is extremely soft. It has copper flecks through it that have a mohair mixed in it. It's lightweight, so it actually would work for winter or like fall, and the colors work perfect for fall, or even an early spring. So it kind of falls under both categories because it's not a heavyweight. This is a fingering weight yarn. There's only one problem with this though, and this is what I've run into, is it's not real wide. You can see it just covers here. So when I wear it, I'm constantly pulling on it. So, you know, I tend to put it together like that and put a pin on it or something to hold it in place. Otherwise, it tends to fall off my shoulders. But otherwise, you know, I wish it was wider this way. Or maybe if I wasn't as wide, it wouldn't be a problem. But so I've done that. I've also worn it like this and put a shawl pin. And this is actually the way I wear it more than anything else, is just slightly off skew like that. Then last we have a monstrosity that I need to rip apart or do something with. It is completely tangled up. This was my first attempt at Tunisian crochet. It's supposed to be sort of like a poncho, sirapa, whatever. It sits like this. It's extremely warm because Tunisian crochet is like double thickness. It has buttons on one side here, and then it also has buttons on this side. So you could wear it several different ways. You can see the buttonholes are tearing out on this, but you can wear it sideways like this, like a poncho, except it's too wide. It's just got a lot of issues. This thing needs to be reworked. I like the colors. It's like a denim and a gray. But yeah, it's just, it's just not working for me. So this is one that will probably go up into the tub of shame, which is where all of my projects go to live that are waiting to be ripped out. It also curls a lot, as you can see here, which drives me crazy. So another reason this will be ripped out, and there's quite a bit of yarn in this. So it will become something that I can actually love a little bit. So yes, this is going to live at the tub of shame. So that is my heavyweight winter shawls. Actually, maybe I will show you really quick my sweaters and ponchos. Hang on, be right back. All right, I am back. Okay, we will start with this poncho. This is a free pattern by Katya Yarns. It's just a poncho. It takes 2 skeins of their cake yarn to do this, which is similar to like a mandala. This is like a fingering weight, and it's an asymmetrical shawl, so it, you know, the point does not fall right in the center. So, and I actually, instead of, it was supposed to be seamed only at the shoulders and then left open. I didn't like these things hanging down with my arms flapping out all the time. So I put it all the way down, seamed it, and then just left a little hole at the bottom. So when I'm wearing it, I can slide my arm through the little slit, almost like a cape type of thing. So there's number 1. This is a crocheted pattern. This is my own pattern. This is the warm striped poncho. It is a free pattern over on Love Crafts, and it's all single crochet with some striping. I like this, but it's extremely warm because it is all single crochet, and this is 100% wool. It is a little on the scratchy side, but you know, I'm not wearing it like right against my skin. I'm usually wearing it over top of something. So there's that one. My other poncho I just showed on Saturday's video, and that is the plaid adaptation. Again, it is an asymmetrical poncho, and it looks like it's plaid, but it really is not. Here's what the back looks like. I mean, it's plaid, but you're not knitting it as plaid. You're actually knitting 2 long rectangles with blocks of color, and then this is chain stitched, like with crochet hook, to put the lines in it to make it look like a plaid. So those are my 3 ponchos. Then I have this sweater. It came out of a book called Kimono 2. They were based on kimonos. Now, I actually got rid of the book and rid of one of the other sweaters that I made because all of them have these bell sleeves. Now, I cut this down in half. I mean, they were like really big bell sleeves based on kimonos. That's fine for small people, but I need less bulk. So this is actually almost too big for me anymore, as you can see right here. I mean, this is big. But it's cozy. It's made with just a plain old, I think it's Red Heart Super Saver. So it's pilled up. It's been loved. Would I make it again? I like this portion of it. This portion I would make again. This, not so much. I really don't like bell sleeves. And these are, like I said, these are cut down from what they should have been. So, yeah, this is one I have. I do wear it, but generally around the house. I don't wear it out because it just kind of looks a little on the worn out nappy side at this point because it's really pilled badly, and it's a little too big for me. It was big for me when I made it, but it's really big for me now. Then we have this crocheted, I'll show the back so you can see it more. This is a crocheted pattern. It's free. It was on YouTube, and Pam Phillips told me about it. I haven't worn this out, I'll be honest, because I'm afraid I look like a circus tent. I mean, the colors are pretty, but not so much on me. So I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it or if I might pass it on to somebody. There's nothing wrong with it. It just doesn't do anything for me. And I can't think of a thing I've got that will go with these colors, because it's got like bright yellow, green, orange, and blue. But it's like a medium blue. So anyway, this one might be going away too. And my last cardigan that I have is by Berg. This is a paid for pattern. This has been my most intricate pattern I've ever done. I love it. It was too big when I first made it, and I intentionally shrunk it, and now it fits perfect. Here's the back. I'll show you the back so you can see it better. But it is literally cables all over. Cables on the arms. Oops, here's the arm. Cable on the arms. It worked off of 5 different charts at the same time to do this. So, but I love this thing. It is made out of the same yarn that I made the warm striped poncho out of. I had some of this left over. So it was made together with that. I decided to kind of combine my lightweight and summer items together because depending on the weather, they can be kind of interchangeable. So I'm going to just kind of do them by group. The first thing is going to be things that you would wear like a scarf or a wrap type of thing. So I have this one. It again is an infinity scarf. It could actually be worn in the wintertime as well. So here it is. It's in different shades of pink. The interesting thing with this is it's reversible. You can flip it inside out and the back looks the same. I do not remember anymore what the name of the pattern was. I made this years ago. The reason I kind of put it in with the kind of interchangeable is because of the colors. It's definitely like spring type of colors. Different shades of pinks and yellow, Easter eggy type of colors. The next is a long scarf. It's very lightweight. I actually have a skirt the same color, so it goes well with it. It's a chevron pattern with like a eyelet in between. And again, I don't remember where this pattern came from, but I like it. It might have been a Louisa Harding. This might have been a Louisa Harding pattern. And the yarn, I think it's some yarn from Peru. Araucania. I'm probably totally massacring that. But I think that's what it is. It's been a long time. It's been several years since I made this. This is a kit that I actually got off of Craftsy, which is now Bluprint. And this is lightweight. It's fingering, and I think the color was called Oatmeal. This is called the Architecture. I made, I believe, the medium size. They had it in a small, they had it in a large and a medium. And it is, probably 7 or 8 feet long, which sounds like a lot, but because it's fingering weight, you would wrap it around like this. It gives you plenty to hang down, and it's not overwhelmingly hot. So it's very soft, and it has some neat texture with it. It's not quite deep enough. You know, width-wise here, it's only maybe a foot. So you could throw it around your shoulders, you know, like this, and it would be fine. It's certainly long enough, but it's more just over your shoulders as far as the width. But the pattern is neat, which is where they get the name from. You can see it's like every section has a little something different. So that is the Architecture. I wouldn't mind making this again, but I think I would make it wider so I could actually use it more as a wrap. So, yeah, there's that one. Then this is my other Tunisian crochet attempt. I had a book that had different patterns you could learn. I mean, not an actual pattern, but just different stitches. And so this is done in some orange colors. And this material, to be honest, I really don't care for the material. It is raw silk. And when you think silk, you think soft. It's not. This is not soft. It feels more like a cotton, but it's supposed to be 100% raw silk. So there you can see the color a little bit more. It's like sunset type of colors. And it's just one long one long rectangle. And when I wear this, I just wear it. It's not enough for a scarf. I just kind of wear it around like this. And again, this is not one I'm really crazy about, so it might be going away. I don't know that I've ever even worn this. I'm trying to think. If I've worn it, it's only once or twice. I like the colors, but it's just, like I said, it feels almost like a rough cotton. I just feel like it's scraggly feeling. It's not real smooth. So, I mean, it'd make a nice table runner. I could do that with it. It would be a perfect table runner. But for something, it's not uncomfortable to wear. But I like my yarn to look nice and neat looking, and this I always feel like is kind of bumpy feeling. I don't know. It's just something in the texture I just don't care for. Now we're going to move to things that you can wear around your neck. This is my all-time favorite. You guys have seen me wear this. I wear this a lot, actually, in the wintertime, even though the colors in it are like sea glass colored. I love the colors. I love the pattern. It's called Round Dance. It's a free pattern. This is a crescent-shaped shawl. And I just think it's perfect. I mean, I've worn it around my shoulders most of the time. I wear it. Oh, it's hooked in my hair. Most of the time I wear it like this. And it is like the perfect size. It is so soft. It feels good against my neck, but it's not like overwhelmingly bulky and big. So because of the lightweightness of it, that's why it would work for the spring and the color of it too. But it is just so soft. I wish I could remember what this yarn was. I bought it at my local yarn store, but I love this one. It is also probably one of my most used things. Now, if you remember the hitchhiker I showed with the beads attached that I did in a heavier weight, this is also the hitchhiker done in the weight it's supposed to be. So this was done with a Zauber ball. That's the name of the yarn. It's a German yarn. It's a fingering weight, and I added to the pattern these little eyelets. That is not original to the pattern. But this one is nice in that you can just wrap it around your neck. And even though this is wool, it's not heavyweight, so it's not something uncomfortable to wear. And I just wear it around my neck, kind of like that. Well, even, yeah, like that. So, and you make it so the little teeth things stick out. So, and it goes, I love the colors in this because they're very jewel toned. So this one is like, there's a turquoise and there's kind of a ruby red, and then it goes into like a deep violet, kind of a fuchsia type of color. So yeah, this one gets a lot of wear as well. This next one, I love the yarn. I saw my yarn shop owner at my local yarn shop made this. Somewhere along the line, I messed up with this because I don't even remember what the name of the pattern is. But it's not supposed to be asymmetrical, but mine turned out to be. I got off somewhere in the pattern. So I might rip this out and redo it if I can find the pattern I did it with. I think the lace was done first. If that's the case, I can just rip back and then do the center part. Somewhere off along the line, I got off count because if you look at it closely, the stripes are sideways. You know, they go uphill. So yeah, I like this. It's very lightweight. It looks nice, but I need to do some fixing on it to make it look a little bit better because it's got some definite issues to it. And the funny thing is, I was knitting this, waiting for a meeting to start, and this lady comes up to me and sees that there's stripes. And she goes, "That is so cool how you're knitting the stripes into it." And I had a hard time not laughing, and I just held up the ball of yarn. I said, the stripes are in the yarn. I don't have to knit it. She's like, "Oh, I feel so stupid." I was like, well. Anyway, so this is one that needs to have a little fixing done to it, but I love the lace detail that is on the bottom of this. I mean, look at that. It's gorgeous. So I just, like I said, I think if I remember rightly with this pattern, that was added, attached or something. It's done later on. So I'm going to see if I can pick it off and take this part off and just reknit that part. so it's done the way it is. Once it's on, you don't really notice it. I mean, in all honesty, if it's on, who is really going to notice that the stripes aren't even? So it's not like it's a big deal. It just drives me crazy when I look at it, though. So it's not a real wide shawl, so you can see I've got it wrapped around and there's just like this little bit here. That would be something else I'm not crazy about. But the yarn itself is very pretty and it's very soft. The next two are the same pattern, done slightly different with different colors. They are a pattern that I designed. It's called Banner Unfurled. Let me try that again. Banner Unfurled. It was made originally, this is cotton. It was made originally so that when it was a patriotic holiday, I had something to wear other than a blue t-shirt and white pants or skirt. So I can put this on as an accessory and I look more patriotic. So it is just red, white, and blue striped, and then there are these pearls put into it that are supposed to look like the stars. So my mother keeps eyeing this one. She goes, I love that red and white one. I was like, Mom, I made you one. It's out of red. Hers is like a red and oranges, and there's a black and like a brown in it. It's almost like, I don't even know how to describe it, but hers is really pretty. But she keeps going, I like that red and white and blue one. So I have to get more cotton. I don't think you'd want to make this out of wool because most of our patriotic holidays fall in the summertime. So this is out of cotton. So this is the original. And then I made several of them to give away that year. One was to my mother, and then I made one for my daughter, which is made out of, I think, denim colors. And then I made one for my daughter-in-law out of pinks and grays and a cream. This one I made out of some yarn that I got on vacation one year. As you can see, the difference in yarn changes the size of a pattern, because look, this is not nearly as deep as the other one was. And it's just meant to, you would never wear this around your shoulders. It's too small, but it's perfect around your neck. And this one's done in turquoise, and it has the same white pearls. And then it has a gray, and then it has this kind of variegated color here. You can see it a little bit better here. This kind of variegated color that has both those colors in it. I wear this one a lot. You know, the red, white, and blue one you tend to wear Memorial Day, 4th of July, you know, Labor Day, things like that. Veterans Day, you know, I'll wear it on those days. But I do get a lot of use out of this one. Then I have some summer cowls. This, again, is a pattern that I made. It's called Katrina's Kerchief Cowl. And I like cowls, but I don't want in the summertime all the bulkiness. So these just slip over your head. They're knitted as a triangle, and then you just hook them in the back. And you will see some of these in the opening of my podcast. So here's the first one, and it's in different jewel tones. It's not showing up real well on here, but it's got like yellows and purples, kind of Easter eggy colors again. And then I have it in blue and white, which is the original. This was the original that was made. So I like those because this one is, I think they're both cotton. I think they are both made out of cotton. Here is another one of the Katrina's Kerchief cowls that I made. And this one's done in turquoises, light and dark turquoise. This is again a cotton, and there's some brown in it too. You can tell like turquoise and purple seem to be my colors anymore. And then I have a butterfly. It was meant to be a butterfly shawl, but I ran out of the yarn. So it's only this big. So not big enough to go around as a shawl. But it's perfect to wear, and it's lightweight. I think this might be a wool, but it's very, very lightweight, so it's not like overwhelming. And it's got my favorite turquoises in it again. And again, I can just kind of pull it up like that, maybe not so tight around my neck. I don't have a whole lot left here. So this is a crocheted pattern I think it's called the Butterfly Prayer Shawl. It is free. It's a free pattern. And then my last one for things I wear around the neck. This pattern was done by, I think it was done by somebody who was French. And I can't even remember the name of the pattern. Yoko sent it to me. And you can see it's just a thin, lacy band. And I had like a mini skein that I got at the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival. So I used it. It was the perfect size. And this is just meant to do almost like a collar accent. So you could just like wrap it around just to kind of dress up a, oh, it's flipped up. Like that, just to kind of dress something up. You could wear it like that. Now we're going to go on to my finger weight shawls. So we'll start with a crocheted pattern. This is the one that I designed called the Crocheted. It is a free pattern and you guys have seen it, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it because this was just recently released, so you probably are sick of seeing it, but there it is. And it is done in a fingering weight. So I could wear this in the winter time as well because it is, you know, it is a good sized shawl, but because it's done in a fingering weight, it's not like heavy weight to put on. Then I have, this is done out of a mohair. I do not remember the name of it. This thing is very, very lightweight, but it's, because it's mohair, it's very warm, even though it's lightweight. And it has like gold flecks in it. You can see right through it. You can see it's not heavy. I wear this thing a lot. I wear it around my neck. I wear it even in the winter time just to take the chill off my shoulders. It's a perfect size. You know, I like it. It fits nice. And I've had this thing for quite a few years now. But it gets a lot of wear out of it. This is the Virus Shawl. This is done in cotton. This is another one I wear like crazy. It's got like a denim grayish color bottom to it. And there's like tans and grays throughout this. I love this thing. I wear it like crazy. Like I said, it goes with a lot. And it's just a perfect size shawl because when you put it on, it wraps around. I like shawls that when you put them on your shoulders, they stay there. I don't want to have to keep pulling something all the time. And this one does that. You just put it on and it's not going anywhere. I don't like the type that are constantly falling down and you're doing this or you're pulling them around. I don't want to have to deal with that. So yeah, I like this. I wear it a lot, especially in the summertime because it is cotton. This shawl is the Swedish Lines shawl. This is also a pattern from Bluprint. The yarn, actually it's a kit because I bought the yarn from them too. So soft. It is so lightweight. It's like featherweight. But because it has alpaca in it, it also can be warm when you want it. So it's nice because I can bunch it up, throw it in my pocketbook. It's not something bulky to carry, but if I get chilly, I can toss it on and it's going to keep me warm. And again, this is called the Swedish Lines shawl. And the whole kit, I bought the kit from Bluprint. And I like it, and I did it, and you could choose what colors you wanted to do it in. I chose the gray and white just because it was so neutral. I could wear it with a lot of things. I need to make one in like black and white because I wear a lot of black and a lot of gray. Makes me look slimmer. Probably not, but it makes me feel good to say that. This is the Bendy Arrow shawl. I've only made this once, and this is by Charlotte Bory. One person I do remember the pattern designer. This was a pattern I really, really liked. A bunch of us made it at one time. It has an I-cord edging, which means the edging of the knitting actually kind of rolls on both sides. I like the look of that. I like the crispness of it. This is really, really soft yarn too. I think it is roving. What's it called? It's Happy Feet. Dun Roving. Dun Roving is the name of the company. Comes out of Maine. But yeah, I've got this in like I think they called it barn roof or barn door or something like that. But it's actually kind of a dark blush pink. And it's variegated. And then this is just a solid gray. And I wear this one a lot too, because like I said, I wear a lot of gray and black, and I wear this a lot. Not so much wrapped around me as wrapped around my neck. This is another one of my designs. This is called, let me show you the front. This is called the Keeping You in Stitches. I love this shawl. I wear this a lot with black as well. It's just, each section has a different type of lace. So if you want to learn to knit lace, but you don't want to get overwhelmed by a pattern, this one changes like every couple of inches. You only do a couple inches of a pattern and then it changes again. And so, yeah, this is one of my favorites. It's also on the opening of the podcast. And I've made this a couple times because when I make a pattern, everybody gets one for Christmas for the most part, because I need to test knit it a couple times. So I make one for like everybody in the family that likes to have knitting. Now these next two shawls are the same pattern. And I actually remember the person who made them. This is a pattern called the Yexa shawl. It is by Janine McCarty. She has a podcast called the Yarn and You Girl podcast. And it's a 2-color shawl, but I did this one in 3 colors because I had all these fall colors. And I tend to wear this in the fall. I can wear it around my shoulders. It's long enough, but I can also wear it up front, which is what I like with a shawl. I like to have a little versatility. So I have it in this color. And then I made one like for if I'm dressing up and want to look sparkly. I have one in silver sparkly. It's not looking sparkly, but it's got lots of sparkliness to it. It's got lots of like glitter in it. So there it is in that. It's a gray silver sparkle. I'm pulling stuff out of my pile, and I just found another one of my basic stitches cowl. This one's in sparkly silver. I don't wear the sparkly colors all that much unless I'm looking especially dressy. So I pull those out then. The next 2 shawls are also the same pattern. They are called On the Spice Market by Melanie Berg. She does like only shawl design. And this was the first one I made. No, this is not the first one. Yes, this is the first one I made. And it has like 7 different colors that go through it. And then it goes to these kind of dotted lines. And out the other side. It is a big shawl. It's not something you're going to wear around your neck because you can see it's pretty deep. But it's another one of those that just feels so nice to wear. It's warm without being really heavy. And I use this a lot because it's purple. And then I made a second one, and this is all out of alpaca, so it's very, very light. And it weighs about half the weight of the other one. The other one I could actually wear more in the summertime or the winter time, but the colors are kind of light. But this one you can literally see through it. And it's different shades of purple and a violet. And the 2 colors that are striping here, which is a gray with speckles and this kind of tonal violet color, are actually from Knit Picks. Yes, Hawthorne. That's what it is. Knit Picks Hawthorne yarn. And then the solid purple that is here, I won in a giveaway from Must Love Yarn. And I put the 3 together to make this. Oh, this is not the same pattern. Never mind. Okay, scratch that thought. This is not on the Spice Market, but this is also by Melanie Berg. This is called Drachenfels, and I have 2 of that pattern. So Drachenfels by Melanie Berg, and then I will show you the first one of Drachenfels that I made. This is the first one of Drachenfels that I made. It's the same pattern, but it has some weird pooling in it, as you can see, like right in here. Because the variegated yarn that I used was red, and it had browns in it, and places where the actual solid brown met the variegated brown, you can't see like the striping that runs through it. Right here, it doesn't stand out and pop as much as the other one. But yes, this is Drachenfels, and so is the other one. So the last 3 are all from Melanie Berg. And we're coming down the home stretch. We've only got 3 to go. Somebody asked me one time, do I wear all of my knitwear? Actually, I do. As many as you've seen, I actually wear the majority of these. I kind of rotate through them. This is all done with Pima cotton. And this is a free pattern. It's called Pirate Cove. Here it is. It's a nice sized shawl. It's actually almost triangular, but it's technically asymmetrical, but it's almost triangle. And you can see right through it, so you can see it's pretty thin. But it is a cotton. It takes three skeins, and this was an ultra Pima cotton, so it's really, really soft. And again, this is something you would wear as a shawl, not around your neck, because it would hang like almost to my knees. So it's got a very deep center to it. But I like it, and it was very fast to knit because it's finger weight yarn, but you knit it with fairly good sized needles, so that's part of why it looks so open. And then the last 2 are another pattern of mine, and it is called Basketwave. And I came up with that name because the pattern kind of has a swoop to it. It's narrow on one side and wide on the other. And each of the blue sections is a different basket weave variation of a pattern. And so this one is the first one that I did. And you actually see this, I think, on the beginning of the podcast too. So I had this one. And then I made it a second time as I tested it. And this one I might give to my granddaughter. My granddaughter's the one that models most of my knitwear for my pattern pages. And I made her for Christmas, out of this same yarn, a hat and fingerless gloves. And this would match it, that she could wear for a scarf to go with it. And it would match the set. So, and I have plenty. I'm not going to miss it. So that ends my fashion show. I do have like pullover sweaters. I have a couple, but most of those you've seen me work on or show before. And I have some cotton tees that I have made. But I just wanted to show things that you don't see all that often that I haven't necessarily shown on the podcast. So I hope you've enjoyed this, my little fashion show. And yeah, don't forget to watch the vlog tomorrow. That'll be week number 3 vlog. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.